Hello, my name is Shanae Jones, and this is kinky, which stands for Know the New Kinky You. You can find me across all social media at DOYOU what's that? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also visit my website at www.doyoukinky.com. So we are here to talk, and the if you are a first time visitor, then perhaps you don't know, but hopefully you understand that this is a dialogue about sex and sexuality, especially in the black community. And let me preface this by saying that it's the black community because I'm a black woman, and this is what I know in my experiences, and I am eager and happy to explore the conversations and dialogues about impacts in other cultures. So that is something that if you are interested in sharing, that feel free to send me a message and we can talk about it, because I know that there are impacts to us culturally that we don't always get a chance to talk about, and this is a forum for that. So we're doing a bit of a series, a playlist for different conversations about sex and sexuality. So I just did a live on the impacts of stress on our sex lives. And stress is there are a lot of things. Sex is a healthy thing for us, and I don't think that we always get the opportunity to have the healthy exchange, the healthy dialogue about sex and sexuality. So that's what these sessions are intended to be. So we talked about stress on the live. So if you missed that, please feel free to go to the YouTube channel and watch that video. This particular series is about how sex is impacted at different stages of our lives, and we're particularly talking about pregnancy and children and how our sex lives change after kids. So I have a daughter. I have one child, and she's very selfish, so she has banned me from having any more children. So I find it funny, but kids are very territorial when it comes to their parents, and they want to feel special and feel like they are the primary object of their parents' affection. But there are things that happen even when you're pregnant, right? You're pregnant, especially if it's your first pregnancy. I honestly believe in those, I think it's Huggies, I be lying, commercials where they say, first kid versus second kid, and how your dynamic changes when you have gone through it the first time. So when you are pregnant, especially again for the first time, your body changes and you don't know what to expect. And, sometimes it becomes hard to have sex as a pregnant female. And your husband, your partner's sex drive may not match yours at that point. You may be in a position where you want to have sex, but you're not comfortable because the circumference of your belly has changed. The weight of the baby has made you feel uncomfortable, and you will now have to figure out how to accommodate the sexual needs of your husband. Now, you might have a husband or partner that is very, very aware and very accommodating and very supportive of your pregnancy. But there are times where, as grown folk, our feelings, our desires, our wants kind of supersede the chivalry of wanting to be intimate. And you have to kind of balance that out, because it's not always easy to be a parent, a to-be parent, especially someone who hasn't had the experience of having a child and is still in the throes of a changing anatomy, where you may want to have sex, or you may want to be left alone, and trying to balance that out, especially because, again, it's the standing rule of having a baby is you have to wait 6 weeks after having a baby to even have sex. So if you have to wait 6 weeks after the baby comes, and you may or may not have been having sex, so let's go with the may not have been having sex prior to the baby's arrival, that can feel like a very long time. And it's not just a thing for the mom, it's a thing for the dad. And you guys have to work together to understand how to best position yourselves to go through it together. Bringing a child into the world is one of the most precious things that can happen to a person, mom or dad, depending on how you take it. Because, there are situations where it's not necessarily felt like, oh my God, it's the best thing. But for the most part, people feel like that. And I feel like they should. Like, I'm so grateful for my daughter. But I can tell you that during my pregnancy, there were times where I'm pregnant and I want to have sex, and I'm like so uncomfortable. And there are times where I don't want to have sex. I don't want to be bothered. My body hurts, my boobs hurts, my stomach hurts, my butt hurts, everything hurts. But it's a conversation to have. You don't want to be in a position where you're isolated, or you don't feel like you can talk to your partner, talk to your husband, talk to your wife about your feelings. And this is, again, I'm giving the woman's perspective, my personal perspective, because it's mine and that's what I can speak to. Men go through it too. So if you are looking at your pregnant wife, your pregnant partner, and to you she's the most beautiful thing in the world, and you're so highly attracted to her, and yet she is not physically or emotionally or even mentally in the space to have sex with you, it can feel like a rejection. You don't want that. But you should also not necessarily take it so personally, because she's going through something, you're going through something, and that something kind of has to balance out at some point. Conversation, communication is key. It's vital to what it is that you have to do. So just remember that when you are in the throes of pregnancy, you are in the throes of a life-changing event. That during that event and post that event, things will change, and you will need to work together to accommodate that change. And as long as you communicate and keep those things in mind, that it's not just a me thing or a baby thing, or it's all of you together that have to create the situation that makes things work. So just keep that in mind, and we'll talk more about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment, and we'll talk about it some more. Thank you so much. I'm Shanae Jones. This is KNKY. Thank you for subscribing. And across all social media is at DOYOUKNKY. I'm Shanae Jones. Thank you so much.